Howdy, welcome back to SlydeBytes. And if you're wondering, is that a new guitar? No, it's not. You've seen this on the channel already if you stuck with it, me for a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and first off give you some introductions. Welcome back to SlydeBytes. If you're new to the channel, this is a budget guitar and gear review channel. Right now we're well, I should say bass too. Throw bass, and I just recently acquired a drum set, so we'll throw that in there too. So, an electronic drum set. I'm still sucking at drums. I'm learning. Post a video about that. It's been a little bit of a fiasco, but I'm getting it there. We're working on it. Anyway, so yeah, today we're playing this Squier. This is an FSR bullet Stratocaster. It is right now in drop C sharp, D flat, whichever you prefer. And you've actually, yeah, already seen it on the channel before. This is an FSR because it was an Olympic white with a black pickguard. And as you can tell, it doesn't look anything like it used to. So I'm going to go ahead and put my amp on standby real quick, because we were playing through the Boss Katana 50 Mark II. And we were on massive amounts of gain over there because I love playing. So there's something about the sound of single coils and high gain. It's just a really cool sound to me. So anyway, yeah, you might recognize this guitar because I did a full review on this guitar when I first got it, back when it still had the black pickguard, the chrome hardware, and all that. And if you can tell, it doesn't look like the same guitar, in my opinion. I think it looks a lot different, and I think it looks a lot better. All that gloss in the headstock now. Oh. Anyway, so let's talk about what I did to this thing, because it was a fun project, and it didn't. There were things about it that were difficult to do, and we'll just kind of call this a little bit of just a facelift on a guitar. So let's dig in. So first off, I took this entire guitar apart. The full guitar pieces all off. Just everything. It started by you had to take off the strings, which the strings, I've been playing this thing a lot, and they were the factory strings. They're Fender strings. They're not bad strings. They're just very light, not really my thing. And they're starting to get to that point. Sometimes when you get strings on a lower price budget in guitars, even some more expensive guitars, the strings that come with them they've been old, they've been sitting there for a while, maybe getting a little rusty. These weren't rusty, but they just didn't feel very good after a little bit. I think I may have just got them near the end of their life where they still felt good at first, and then after several hours upon hours of playing it, I just think I wore them out. So anyway, I went ahead and changed them out and put on some heavier gauge strings later, but took those off, took the neck off, took the pickguard off, took all the hardware off the neck, off the body, so cover, sorry, not cover, your output jack. I took everything off. All this was off the guitar, so we were in pieces. So what I did, I had ordered a Stratocaster pickguard. I've been looking, I love checker print. I think it looks cool. I'm from the Midwest, and I used to go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I've been in love with the checker print on all that since I was a kid. And I love that, and yeah. So anyway, I've been a big fan of that look, and I remember several like punk rockers back in the day always had that on their guitars too, and that was around the same era when I was traveling all the way over to Indianapolis to see the raceway and everything. And I don't know, it left an imprint in my brain of this punk and indie rock scene and the Indianapolis 500 and all that stuff. I was like, okay, it stuck with me, and I liked the look, and I wanted this pickguard, and I wanted a white Strat for years, and I was like, this is going to be a pretty cool combo, I think, by the time I'm done. And this will age, and I think that over time, I think this will match the body a little more, but I still kind of like even the off look a little bit. But anyway, so these pickguards that you can order off of like Amazon, you gotta be kind of be careful when you order them, because there's pretty much nothing that's gonna fit a Squier that I could find. Maybe if you know of something, please let me know. This is a Fender Mexican Strat. I think it was labeled Mexican/American Strat pickguard. That's obviously single coil cut, and I ended up making it fit, but I did have to file open these holes with a round file just a little bit for the screws to go back in. Not a big deal. What I did discover as I pulled this off, this guitar is much higher quality on the inside than I thought. The cuts were good. This is a wide open cavity. You can drop humbuckers and everything in this thing. Really nice to see that. So if I wanted to put a lead humbucker, I think it may have even had enough room for one in the back too, but I know for sure up here, there is definitely enough room in the bridge for a humbucker if I wanted to put one in there. Pots look good. The pickups were wax potted. I was really impressed with that. I don't know when or if Squier's always done that, but that was really cool to see. And I like the sound of these pickups. I play this guitar all the time, and I do a lot of metal stuff on it, and it vibes with me. So I really do like this guitar, and I like the sound. So I decided to leave the pickups the same. I'm still looking at like Seymour Duncans and Tamari's and things like that. I want to do some pickup swapping in the future, but bear with me. We'll figure out some of that. But yeah, so I put that back on, and I took all the hardware off and spray painted it black. Now spray paint might chip over time and break off here and there and flake off. I don't really care. It's going to give it kind of a rough, beat up a little bit look. So that's cool. Anytime something needs a little bit of touch up, like on the tuners or something, I just been using black nail polish and just touching it up. It doesn't have to look perfect. I kind of want it to look a little bit more rough and beat up. I want it to look like, have this raw racing kind of vibe. Like, yeah. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. Now, the hardest part about all this was that when I put this back together, the bridge was actually too wide to fit in the pickguard slot for it. So I took a long time with this fitted on. I used files and just slowly went back and forth on each edge till I got this to fit. And I will say that did get into the body of the guitar a little bit, but I knew it was going to be under the bridge anyway, so no one was ever going to see it. But it was a little frustrating. That probably took about 2 hours of going back and forth. I probably should just use a Dremel. I have one, but I don't know. I just wanted to be really slow and tedious, slow and methodical and tedious with it. Anyway, and really make this, flush and fit good and really nice and tight up against there. And instead of having to take it on and off over and over again and try it, I just figured filing and go slow, and it worked. I think it looks pretty good. So the neck I also had removed. So I just went over all the frets with steel wool, polished them, and the way this thing, the amp is on standby right now, but playing it felt good before, but there's just no resistance anymore in the frets. And again, and it didn't feel bad before. It just feels even better now. And the fret edges, I'd already gone over those with a sanding sponge and rolled my edges a little bit. That was kind of nice. So that was already pre-done when I first got the guitar. I do that all the time anyway. But yeah, now the frets are super glassy, smooth across them. They just feel, even just running your finger, you can just feel just how smooth I got those. And then I cleaned the whole fretboard, cleaned it completely down, and ended up staining it with Minwax ebony stain. So this fretboard, if you notice, it is substantially darker than a traditional Laurel fretboard that comes on these. That is because it has been stained ebony, and I think the look is just killer. I think that just looks so good. I'm really happy with the way that came out, and it's just, just looking at it here on the camera, back at me, it's just so beautiful, and I think it just looks so good. Yeah. So, yeah, painted the head, the tuners, black as well. And, as a little bonus thing for myself, back here, you can tell, I don't know if I can show that very well, I even painted the back neck plate black. But if you can tell on here, the whole back of the neck has now got a little bit of a gloss finish on it. And that is because I took True Oil gunstock finish and actually went across the whole neck, all the way, all over the headstock, front and back. That's why it's got this nice sheen to the headstock now, and the back of the neck. And it's not a sticky, tacky feel. It's still very satin, still very smooth. It gives it just this nice kind of glossy sheen. It feels really good to the hand. It's going to be a lot more wear resistant and a lot more, lot better at fighting off the elements. And I can just tell, it feels so good when playing it. I come from Sonoran Desert Institute as a background. I don't really talk about that very much on here because people get really irritated with certain things. I'm not a political channel, but I do have a background and an associate's degree in a particular field that helps. If you know what Sonoran Desert Institute is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I have an associate's degree from there. I am a graduate. I graduated 4.0 back in 2019. So yeah. Yeah, I already knew I liked that product from those projects I did back then, and so I knew how it was going to end up feeling, and I'm so glad I went with that because it feels so good. It is just such a nice feeling guitar neck now. yeah, and that's where I learned to do a lot of woodworking and a lot of routing and things like that if I need to do it. And so, yeah, it's kind of cool, unrelated field that led into my favorite hobby, so neat. And it led me into my career now. Anyway, so, yeah, so the headstock and the neck got a nice true oil, glossy, hardened coat that feels really smooth and satiny, but still very, very protected, and you can just tell it feels a lot better. Ebony stain on the fretboard. All hardware painted black, brand new pickguard, and I switched the strings to Ernie Ball, skinny top, heavy bottom. I think that's how that works. Anyway, and those are awesome. I can't remember what the exact gauge is, but it's like a 9, and the upper string, or the low E is a, I can't remember now. it's gone off my mind, but it's a heavier set than what, you know, your traditional Fender 9 to 40 something strings are. These are much better feeling to me. I still don't really like having a low or a high E that's in a 9. I still don't necessarily like this. I'll probably go with beefy Slinkies or something like that, or Burleys. Probably Burleys in the future on this. But for now, that's what I had on hand. I need to order some more strings. But yeah, I think it feels pretty good, and it plays well, bends well. No problems with the string tensioning with the tuning. Drop C sharp's not that low. Because it's really just dropped E flat. And a lot of people tune to E flat and all that anyway. So yeah, so anyway, it was a fun project. I learned a lot. Just because it was the first time I'd ever taken a guitar down to so many. I mean, you take a part off here and there, it's no big deal to do that. But I'd never taken an entire guitar from top to bottom completely apart just to look at the parts before, just out of curiosity and just because I wanted to put on a new pickguard. But it is an easier project to do if you are, you know, somewhat competent with filing and fitting these. It is really hard to find pickguards that will fit a Strat, so a Squier Strat that is. Because, you know, they're, especially like these, they're just slightly off from what the Fender run are, and it's easier to find Fender pickguards than the Squier by Fender stuff, but on Amazon and other places it is, so bear that in mind. But I think it just looks really good. Again, I'll hold that up close here so you can just see. I mean, I'm gonna get a checkered guitar strap eventually. I'm already needing to polish up the fretboard because I've been playing this so much that I'm getting greasy stains all over it again. I have to clean this thing all the time because I do play it so much. I really like this guitar. Not as much as my Fender Strat, obviously. It's hard. I don't know that anything will beat that, but yeah. But yeah, I just used, again, spray painted all the hardware black, and I've just put black nail polish on it wherever there was something, even with chip off the paint or anything. I even got the strap buttons blacked out on here. It's just a sharp looking guitar now, and it plays and feels so much better to me. So yeah, guys, this is a fun project. If you ever just want to personalize a guitar, facelift, whatever, I've changed something as simple as a pickguard change and some basic, you know, woodworking skills can really come in handy. And maybe somebody would be like, you just devalued an FSR. It's a $230 guitar, and it makes this thing so much more personal to me. I left a little message to myself underneath here about the guitar and yeah, it's just a really awesome little thing. So just wanted to go over what I had done to it. It's still the same guitar it's always been, same pickups, still plays just fantastically well, sounds really good. Yeah, so anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I'm doing, if you'd been following me on Instagram, you already had seen this, and I did post some about it here on YouTube over in the community page. So yeah, check me out on Instagram and Twitter, and on the community page on here. So Instagram, Twitter, and the community page here on YouTube. Check it out because I post pictures of all kinds of fun stuff I'm doing, and over there on Twitter and Instagram, I'm posting a lot more of my original music I've been playing. Still debating how much of that I'm going to bring over here or not, but I have a lot of fun playing a lot of music over there and just being original and creating music. So yeah, you can always check that out on there. If you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. It goes a long way for me, and I really appreciate it. And I do appreciate every one of you who keeps coming back and watching my crazy guitar videos and my ramblings. It means a lot to me. Just know that there's people out there even watching these videos. So yeah, again, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon with more content. Later. Keep shredding, partners.